Hello, hello, hello. We are live and we are back for the Visibility Breakthrough Series Part 2. And I'm super, super excited about today. So, if you were here yesterday, we started off the series where we were talking about the hidden cost of staying under the radar. So, that was part 1. And today we are going to be digging into simple ways that you can raise your profile and become more visible. So, if you are watching this today and you missed yesterday, I suggest you go back and watch it after today's session. And I will link the replay link in the comments as well. If you're catching this on the replay, then I suggest you go and watch that one first and then come back to this one. So I'm excited to be back. If you are here and you were here yesterday, type in the chat and let me know that you are in the virtual room. It's hard for me to see who's on. I can see the comments. So when you comment, I know that you are there. And I want to dig in. But before I do, if this is the first time that you have been on one of my live streams, my name is Janine Esbrand. I am an executive coach. I am a speaker, a trainer, and a soon-to-be author. And I help new and emerging leaders to increase their impact and their influence. And I am digging into this topic right now because I've been having conversations with clients. I've been speaking to different people, and I've just been noticing that there are lots of people who know that they need to be more visible, or they are acknowledging that they need to be more visible, but they're not necessarily taking that next step. And there's various reasons why. But I want to, in this visibility series, highlight why you really need to dig into it, which is what we talked about yesterday, and why it's important for you to prioritize it. And today I want to give you some practical strategies that you can implement, so that you can increase your visibility in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming or doesn't feel like you have to change into someone else. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to dig into those simple steps that you can be taking. Hey, Andrea, she's back. Hey, Maren, nice to see you. Lovely to see you ladies on. So before I just dive into what I want to talk about today, I do want to just highlight, and I talked about this yesterday, and I just want to share again for anyone who didn't hear the announcement yesterday, but I am offering 5 spots for visibility intensives this summer, where I am doing deep dives with people to help them to map out their visibility strategy and their plan and figure out how it is that they're going to take their existing background and experience and make sure that they're leveraging it in the right way so that they can become more visible. So this is really designed for leaders, professionals, people who know that they have a message that they want to share. They know that they want to get out there, but they need some support with figuring that out. So it's us working together one-to-one, half-day intensive, getting it done, getting your strategy so you know exactly what you need to do, and then some follow-up support after that. So if you want to learn more, I will put the link in the comments once we're done, but I just wanted to share that because I'm doing all things visibility this summer because I think it's so important. This is a time where everyone's kind of slowing down, right, and going on holiday and doing all the summer things, which is lovely. But it's also a good time for you to focus on your development, because if work is not as crazy, not as busy, it's a good time for you to think about advancing in those areas that you have been wanting to advance. And that's why I think it's a good time to be talking about visibility. So let's talk about strategies, right? Simple ways to raise your profile. The first thing you want to be doing, and this is a bit that I think a lot of people might skip, right? You might say, okay, I want to be more visible, and then you might just start doing things that does raise your profile. But we want to make sure that we're doing things with intention, right? We don't want to just be going out there and just being visible for visible sake. We want to be visible for a purpose and for a reason. So the first thing that you want to be doing is establishing your motivation and your goals, right? So your motivation for visibility, it can't just be because Janine said I need to be more visible, right? There needs to be a reason why you want to be visible. What is that visibility going to do for you within your career, within your industry, within your business? Like, what is the purpose of the visibility for you? So establishing that and being clear on why I'm even wanting to do this, and then setting a goal around who you want to be visible with is going to influence which types of strategies you implement. Because there's lots of different ways you can go about becoming more visible. There's lots of different spaces you can become more visible in. So we want to make sure that we are clear on who it is we are trying to be visible in front of, who it is we're trying to get the attention of, and we want to be clear as to, you know, what that attention is then hopefully going to translate into. Okay? So if you are in the position now where you kind of know why you want to be visible and who you want to be visible in front of, and you feel like you know what you need to do, but you are unsure about the strategy or you're a little bit overwhelmed, just type yes in the chat. Let me know if that's where you're at. Like, you're like, okay, I get it. I've acknowledged that I need to do it. But now it's like, okay, but how and when, and, you know, all those questions. If that is you, know that you're not alone. There's lots of people who are in the space where they know that they need to do it, but the how is the challenge. So the strategies I'm going to share with you, I'm going to focus on 3 today. They are simple, but they're not necessarily easy. Simple, but not necessarily easy. They're not easy because it means putting yourself out there. It means doing things in a different way, right? But they can be simple. So the first one, I touched on this a little bit yesterday when I was talking about my experience of securing a TEDx talk. This is a strategy I want you to really pay attention to. This is where you are having conversations, the right conversations with the right people about what it is you want to do and about what it is that you already do. Right? So when I say what it is you want to do, you want to be communicating what your goals are, and what it is you already do, you want to be communicating what you bring to the table, what your experience set is, so that they are aware. And it's important for you to be thinking strategically about who are the people that I need to be having conversations with. So I shared the story yesterday when it came to me deciding that I wanted to do a TEDx talk. I shared that having a conversation with a friend and sharing with them what it was I wanted to do in terms of being a TEDx speaker, and them having a knowledge and understanding of my background and my area of focus, that is what led to an introduction that then led to me auditioning for a TED talk, right? That happened not only because I spoke up and I had that conversation with that person, it's that I chose the right person to have that conversation with. Okay? I was strategic about who I was talking to. Now, you can have a conversation with lots of people and just share with lots of people what it is you do, and you never know where those conversations might lead. You can do that. You can also be very intentional by paying attention to who are the movers and shakers within my space, within my industry, within my organization, who are the people that are connected to others that I would like to get in front of. So this person in particular, she is somebody that I would call a connector. She's that person that anytime you have a conversation with her, she knows somebody that you should speak to. She'll be like, oh, you've got this idea or you want to do this thing. I know someone you should speak to. So she's connected with a lot of people, but she also has that brain where she's able to connect the dots and say, hey, you should speak to so-and-so. So I knew that even if she didn't off the top of her head know, you know, someone who was organizing a TEDx talk, I knew that me sharing my story with her would increase my chances of being connected with someone who is within the TEDx space. So that conversation led that way because of who she was. So for you, I want you to be thinking about who is already in your network, who is already in your spaces that you need to start speaking to and cultivating more of a relationship with, because they could potentially introduce you to somebody or a space or an opportunity that is going to help you to become more visible. Oftentimes we're so busy just going and got our head down and working that we're not paying attention to the people that are around us. And at the end of the day, business, careers, everything comes down to people, and it comes down to relationships. So often when I'm working with clients who are looking to make some kind of move, transition, have some growth within their careers or within their business, I ask them, like, who do you know? Like, who do you know? Who are you connected with that could potentially be a good person for you to have a conversation with? And at first, the response is often, I don't know anybody, or I'm not sure. And then it just takes a little bit of time, not a lot of time, a little bit of time for people to reflect and then be like, actually, I do know this person and I could reach out to this person or I could reach out to that person. So I think that it's important for us to not overlook what's right in front of you in terms of the network that you already have, and you raising your profile through conversation, raising your profile through having one-to-one conversations with people. If you have enough of those conversations, you are going to increase your profile. You are going to have the situation where you are top of mind for people. You want to look for opportunities to become top of mind. We're so busy, right? There is so much information that's thrown at us on a daily basis. So even if you had a conversation with someone 6 months ago, they may have forgotten. So making a point to look at how can I be strategic and intentional about staying top of mind with the people that I want to cultivate relationship with, that I want to be visible with, that could potentially be someone who introduces me to an opportunity or another person. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, and I think this one is one that we often overlook. This is where you are making the most of the opportunities that you already have and the spaces that you're already in. So when you are going about your day to day and you are getting involved in projects, in initiatives, whether you are going on training courses or you're attending meetings, it can be really easy to go in and go out based on what your goal is for that day. So it's like, okay, my goal is to attend this meeting, and then after this meeting, I'm going to do something else. Or my organization has arranged for me to go on this training program, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to do the training, and I'm going to move on. Within those containers, within those spaces, there is opportunity for you to become more visible. So if you are in a meeting and you have a question, you ask a question or you make a statement, you are going to be more remembered than the person who doesn't, right? If you are in a training program and you are the person who does the work, who goes above and beyond, who fully participates, you are going to be remembered not only by the person who is running the program, but also by the peers, also by the other people within the program. So I want to give you an example of how your full participation, wherever you are, can translate to an opportunity. So a few years back, when I had started my business, I was running my coaching business for a while, and I got to the stage where I wanted to introduce a group coaching offer into my business. I had been working with people one-to-one, and I wanted to figure out how I could support more people and work in a group setting. So I joined a coaching program with one of my amazing coaches who's called Jerisha Hawk. And when I joined that program, I will tell you, I was very nervous because it was the biggest investment I had ever made in myself and in my business. It was a lot of money back then to me. And I remember being like, okay, if I invest this much money, I am not about to put this much in and not get out what I need to get out. So what that meant for me was I was committed to showing up fully. I was committed to doing all the work. I was committed to executing. I was committed to attending every one of the coaching calls, asking all of the questions, and just going all in. And that is exactly what I did. And because I did that, I was able to grow my business, and it had a great ROI, let's say, from attending the program and being in it fully. And I got out of it what I wanted to get out of it because I showed up fully. But there was also a side effect of showing up fully. In addition to me being able to grow my business, I got the attention of the leader of the program because she saw me as somebody who was showing up fully, doing the work, getting results. And at the end of my time in the program, she invited me to come on board as a coach so that I could coach my peers and new students coming into the program as one of her program coaches. And I was honored to do that and ended up working with her for a year, coaching different cohorts of people, 70 people, 100 people, supporting them with the implementation of the program. Now, I hadn't gone into it with the intention of this opportunity coming out of it, but because of my visibility, because I showed up so frequently, because I was in the group making comments, because I was helping other people, for her, it was a no-brainer. it's like I had demonstrated my commitment to the program and to the process and to showing up for myself and for other people. So I want you to take that story and that example and really think about, are there spaces that you are already in where you are kind of, you're there, but you're not fully there? Like you're doing the bare minimum, or you're doing what it is you need to do and then you're out. There's opportunity for you to be more visible exactly where you are. When you capture the attention of the leaders of a program, or the leaders of an initiative, or the people that are organizing an event or a program or a meeting, then you're visible, you're memorable. People often have debriefs after any kind of meeting or event that involves a significant number of people. That okay, so that's number 2. So you want to show up fully where you are right now. So take some time to assess, like, where are some spaces that I'm in? And this might be spaces that aren't just professional. Like, think about clubs that you're involved in, hobbies that you have, things that you do on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. Can you get more involved? Can you be more vocal? Can you be more visible amongst the people in these spaces so that you can be remembered and people get to know who you are and what you can bring to the table? So that's number 2. And then our number 3 for showing up fully is following up. So when you go to a networking event or you have been introduced to somebody, it's so easy to have that initial interaction and then that's it. Have the initial interaction and it's like, oh, that was nice, great meeting, nice person. But the fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. When you connect with someone that you know can support the goals that you have, it's upon you to make sure that you follow up and you cultivate an ongoing relationship. So I had a situation not long ago where I went to a networking event and I met someone who was an agent for a speaker bureau, and we had the initial interaction and I decided that I was going to follow up afterwards. That follow-up led to a meeting. That meeting led to me booking an opportunity, and then that opportunity has led to an ongoing partnership, which I'm super, super excited about. So make sure that you are looking for ways to establish relationship with people and follow up. And you can be thinking about ways that you can create opportunities to connect with new people. What just came to mind as I was sharing that, I remember a while ago I was working with a client who was looking to diversify what it is that she was doing. She was working as a lawyer and she wanted to get more into the mental health space, and she decided that she was going to interview other lawyers within her law firm to ask them about their experience. So she created opportunities to connect with people across the firm that she hadn't otherwise connected with, and then she was able to build relationship with those people because they were sharing their story with her. And over time, she built much better connections across the firm because she had decided to put this initiative in place. She started a whole blog. She ended up being nominated for an award by her firm. It turned into a whole thing. But initially, she just wanted to connect with more people around a topic that she cared about. So that's another example that is something that's pretty easy to do. So I want you to think about, how am I connecting with the people that I want to connect with, and then following up with them and finding ways to have more touch points going forward. Okay? So let's recap those 3 different ways. They are simple. I know they're not easy, and it might be a bit of like, oh, I don't know. I need to really think about stepping outside my comfort zone. But when you do it, the results are amazing. So number 1 is you want to think about, who are the people that I need to connect with and speak to, and share what my goals are and what my motivations are around what it is I'm trying to do. That's number 1. Number 2 is you want to show up fully where you already are. So look for ways to go a little bit deeper and show up in your meetings, in your training programs, in your networking, so that you are noticed not only by people who are organizing, but also by your peers. And then number 3 is you want to make sure that you are following up. So when you are making connections with people, you are finding a way to follow up, whether that is a follow-up conversation, whether that is you doing an interview series with people, whether that is you just looking at ways that you can organize maybe an event that you can invite them to. There's lots of different ways that you can follow up and start cultivating relationships. Yeah. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So let me know in the chat, based on what I've shared, or in the comments if you're watching this on the replay, which of these strategies, 1, 2, or 3, do you feel like you're going to be able to commit to trying more of? So are you going to be thinking about who it is you can be speaking to more and reaching out to? Are you going to be showing up more fully where you are? Or are you going to be committed to the follow-up? Let me know, 1, 2, or 3, because I think it's great to hear strategies. And yes, and said, simple yet powerful strategies. Absolutely. I'm glad you like that. And also, Maren, it's more about how often you will need to make yourself visible. It is important. I'm glad you mentioned that, because the visibility, what we're talking about here when it comes to visibility, sometimes it can feel overwhelming and it can feel like, oh, it's a lot, like I've got to do all of these different things. But it doesn't take much. Like, you don't have to be showing up all of the time in all of the spaces, in all of the ways, if you are intentional. So if you've decided that, okay, my strategy is I'm going to make sure that I'm connecting with more people that are connected to my goal, then you can say, okay, so once a month, I'm going to make sure that I'm having a new conversation with someone. I'm going to organize a coffee chat. I'm going to organize an in-person meeting. I'm going to organize something on Zoom once a month, right? So you can decide on the cadence. The cadence isn't, you don't need to have a super regular cadence in order to be impactful. You just need to make sure that you are doing it. You are doing it. And I say to people, like, just start small. What can we commit to? Hey, Teresa. It's good to be brave and show up. Absolutely. And when we do it, so often we will do it and feel so good that we did, and things will come up and we will be like, do you know what? I thought that was going to be harder than it was, and it wasn't. And I'm so glad I did this thing because I met this person, or this opportunity came out of it, or I learned something new. Sometimes you just showing up is giving yourself opportunity to learn new things in new spaces, and then you can just allow the results to take care of themselves. Your focus is, what can you take control of? You can take control of whether or not you show up, and then the results happen after that. Right? So I think if you are committed, you will see results. So I like that. Maren said she's committed to the first one. Andrea said showing up fully where I am. I love it. I love it. And Andrea also said, for me, what helps the most is why. The why. Yeah. The why of my visibility. Like, if you know why you're doing something, it's so much easier to stay committed. And this is why it's important for you to establish, what is the right thing for me right now? What am I doing this for? Because it's really, we live in this culture where it's all about comparison. There's like so many people doing so many things, and everyone and their journey is so accessible. So we get to see all this stuff all the time. And sometimes that can make us feel like we're behind, like we should be doing more, like we should be doing things differently. But actually, let's run our own race. Let's figure out what is the thing that I need to be focused on, and like put the blinkers on and double down. The other day, side note, I was driving to take my son to a play date, and I saw some horses in the field, and this is the first time I've actually seen them with the mask, with the blinkers on. And I was like, oh no, like, what have they done? Like, why have they put that on their heads? And then my husband was like, they've just got their blinkers on. It looked really uncomfortable, but they were very, very focused on what it is they were supposed to be focused on. And I think for us, we need to sometimes put the blinkers on. We need to be like, I'm not even looking to the left or to the right. I'm just focusing front facing on what is in front of me. What is the strategy that I've decided I'm going to implement? What is the goal that I'm moving towards? And let me stay focused for a period of time, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it is. Lock in, double down on that focus, and then you're going to see much better results. Because when we are looking all around and trying to do all the things and trying to implement all the personal, professional development goals that we have at once, we end up just spinning and not really moving forward as much as we want to. right? So that is what I have for you today. I hope you find that useful. I'm going to be back again tomorrow. So part 3 of this visibility series is going to be a Q&A session. So I want to be able to answer any specific questions that you have about your particular situation and circumstance. So I am going to be coming back, circling back, checking the comments from yesterday, checking the comments from today to pull questions. And then tomorrow at midday BST UK time, I will be answering those questions for you. So use this opportunity to, pick my brain and let me give you some thoughts on your particular strategy. And if you want to go deeper and you want us to lock in and work together for half a day to really help you to raise your visibility game well and truly and come up with your strategy so that you can have that focus and know exactly what you need to do when, then I invite you to check out my summer intensives. I just have a client that has decided to book one yesterday, and we've got a few more spots. They're limited over the summer. And so if you're interested, do check in the comments and have a look for more details, or reach out and ask me a question if you have a question about how those work. All right. Thank you for showing up. For those of you that are live that I can see who have been engaging. Teresa, we absolutely need to catch up. So lovely to see you. Maren, Andrea, thank you all for being here and participating fully, showing up fully where you are, practicing what I was about to tell you. And now you did it. And for those of you who are catching this on the replay, then please do put your comments below. As I said, put your questions in, and I am excited to come back tomorrow at 12. See you then.